Hello and welcome to the studio where we paint away the stress of everyday life. Yes, another little bit of cardboard, another little bit of demonstration painting, and I quite like these. So today I'm thinking, I'm trying to avoid greens. Been trying to do that for the last couple of weeks, but I don't know. Anyway, let's have a look at the palette.
Hey, welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time.
Okay, so in front of us we've got some mixing white. That's the mixing white that I use there because I want to put some mist in this particular painting I'm thinking of. It's all in my brain at the moment. Got a little bit of ultramarine blue, a bit of Prussian blue because I'm thinking of possibly sky and water. I got some burnt umber and some hooker's green. These are all pre-mixed colours. And some Mars black and white, so I might mix a bit of black and brown together, make a dark brown. I'm thinking of maybe trees or something. A horizon line, well, we could put our horizon line roughly approximately there, something like that. There we are. I don't stand too much on ceremony. Or maybe we'll have a river bank or something like that coming in. Maybe that's going there, like that, something like that. Maybe we'll have a bit of water there. Play on this. Got some trees in the background. Just like that, a bit of sky there. You know, all that misty feeling there. And I might do a nice focal point. Maybe a tree or something like that. Anyway, that's what's in my brain. So let's have a go. I don't know how successful we're going to be, but we can give it a try. Always give it a try. Never be afraid of just grabbing a brush and coming to the canvas and just throwing some paint on and having a bit of fun. And that's what it's all about. Have a bit of fun. Let's just get a bit more blue there. If your paint isn't running, then just add a little bit of water. Not a lot. You don't want more than about 40% really. 47% is the kickoff, and that's where the polymer resin tends to break down a bit, and then we get this problem with flaky paint and all that type of nonsense. But if you're just painting on cardboard like I am, it's not a problem because you can thin it down as much as you like. I can get that really wishy-washy. It's not going anywhere because all it's going to do is absorb itself into the cardboard. So I had a comment last time about additives in acrylic paint, and it made me giggle a little bit actually, and I wasn't in a disrespectful manner to the person who put the comment on. It was the fact that I'm of an age where my both parents smoked. Back in the 60s, we still had lead-lined pipes for water, so we were drinking water from lead pipes. My both parents smoked. There was loads of pollution in the air because of people were coal fires and things like this, and I'm thinking people are so scared these days of worrying about what's written on the back of packages and packets and stuff like that, and basically the question was about the actual additives in the resin, the binder of the paint. And my argument is that today these companies daren't put anything on the market that's detrimental to our health, because it'll soon be taken off and they get heavily fined. And I believe that acrylic paints are very, very safe. There's things like CADMIUMs and stuff like that were in the old paints, the old lead paints, oil paints and stuff like that. But not today. Nothing is like that is in the paints today. And as long as we don't ingest it, as long as we don't eat the paint, we should be fine anyway. It's not recommended to suck on a tube of acrylic paint because that might cause a bit of a problem. But as long as we just don't do that, we'd be okay. That's just my understanding of it anyway. So yeah, I'm at an age where my both parents smoked, really, really heavy, smoked. And even when I was old enough to go out to clubs and pubs and things like this, that there was so much smoking going on in these places that the air was thick and smoky, and you'd smell terribly. Your clothes would smell, and you'd have runny eyes, and absolutely horrible, absolutely horrible. And today we're afraid of stuff today. We really are. I think we are being scared mongered into believing certain things that are harmful for us and stuff like that. But you know, we used to have what we call chips in the UK. If you're in America, it's like fries. We call them potato chips, not crisps, not the packets potato fries. It's a different language. Old fish and chips, the old British fish and chips were our chips. That's what we call it, like French fries then, but thick cut is the only way I can explain it. Is used to be cooked in lard, and not good for you. Not good for you. Yes, that wouldn't be good these days. Wouldn't be accepted these days. They moan about McDonald's and that, but I mean, wow, back in the day, what we used to eat when we were children really frightens me. Anyway, let's try this. So I'm just going to mix up some burnt umber, some white, just like that, a little bit of black maybe. I want to get this nice and light. Just like that. And I'm going to get, what's that? This is an angled brush. So you can see it's cut on an angle. Just mix a couple of them bits and pieces together. I'm just going to put some lines in just like this. Maybe a little bit darker. Boom, 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 boom. Get a little bit darker. Just add a little bit more black to that. Just a few. Just like this. No, there's no set pattern to this. Just do what you need to do. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe some just a little bit thicker than others. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Just draw the lines in like that. Boom, 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 boom. And just do that. These are just representation of some reflections or something. There we go. And I'm going to dry that with a hairdryer, and then we're going to put a mist over that. Yeah, the other thing I was thinking of is, as somebody said to me a couple of weeks ago, that my generation's the problem. I'm 61 now. My generation's the problem. If it wasn't for my generation, there wouldn't be any pollution and stuff like that, and we should recycle. And I just looked at this youngster and thought, okay, so we should recycle. I understand. I totally agree with all that, but we never had any rubbish when we were children. Not much. We used to have a bin that we used to put ash in. It used to call the ash man. He used to come every week and collect a bin of ash, which was basically from the coal. Yes, we used to burn coal fires and stuff like that, but there was no packaging then when I was younger. Not as much as it is today. I'm just going to put a little bit of green here and there now, just as I'm talking. And yeah, there wasn't as much packaging back in the day, because any cardboard and stuff like that, or any paper that we used to have, my mother used to keep to light the fire. My father used to put stuff like cardboard and stuff like that on the compost heap, and it used to rot. And yes, we used to have a compost heap, and then we didn't have much food waste because we didn't have a lot of food to eat. So if we didn't eat it and the dog didn't finish it off, then it went on the compost heap. So, you know, as far as food waste is concerned, we had very, very, very little food waste. And things like potato peelings and stuff like that used to go in the potato trench or on the compost heap. And my father used to grow his own vegetables and all this type of stuff. So yeah, we used to recycle a lot. We used to have milk bottles delivered to the doorstep with milk in, obviously. And they used to be collected every week or every day by the milkman. The milkman used to call, I think it was once a day, or maybe once every other day or something like that. It wasn't that regular, I don't think, but yeah, we used to have that, and we used to have a man come round then with bottles of soda in his van, and those bottles used to go back as empties, and we used to have a bob for was it about 2 or 3 pence then for them. A bob, what we used to call a bob, or a shilling, is worth about 5 pennies. Yeah. So I have been reflecting on things like that, and it does annoy me when the youngsters don't think that we recycled or anything like that. But we didn't have a choice really when we were younger, because it wasn't very much. We weren't very well off, so it was what it was. There we go. Let's just put some things in like this. And just have fun. A little riverbank, some trees and things there like that. Let's get some of this. I'm just using a cheap old bristle brush. To get a bit of colour. And don't worry if you don't want to paint right to the edge of your canvas, it doesn't really matter, does it? It just adds that little bit of flavour to something. Let's get a little bit of brown and just put a few different textures in like that. There we go. That'll do. Let's get the hairdryer and dry that off and put a mist over that then. Oh, we do have fun. Clive is definitely reminiscing a bit today. Okay, so let's just change the subject completely. Let's just get some kitchen roll. Now this is mist in white. It's a very translucent white, and you can add water to this to thin it down. The reason I use this is a mixing white, so you can mix colours and it doesn't change them too much. There's a little bit of colour shift, but not a lot. When I say colour shift, sometimes it'll lighten it up a touch, but because it's very translucent, it's very delicate. But what I like doing with this is just putting a nice thin, you've seen me doing this so many times before, a nice thin coat of this translucent white over my painting like this, because what it does, it makes it look misty and murky, and dulls that colour right back like that, and it makes it look very, very distant. And I want to get that there. Now, what we can do with this is we've put a layer on like that, and then we can do it a hairdryer. Let's just dry that off with a hairdryer. And I'll show you this in real time, because you can see it, you should be able to see it drying as I'm drying it on the camera. So we can go in again now, and we can put another layer of paint in, making sure it's really dry, mind you. You have to make sure that's really dry before you do this. And just get that distant effect. Can you use titanium white for this? I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest, because titanium white is very, very, very opaque, and that's not what you want. Now, if you don't want to play around with tones of colour, like if you don't want to lighten them really light and paint that in, you can paint it like as if it's misty if you wanted to. But I tend to do this because it's easier, and I find it much easier to play with when I'm doing that. I'm just going to bring that misty look down there like that, so you can see that's looking nice. I'm going to dry it again. Now I'm going to make sure this really dry. I've given that a really good couple of minutes. Always checking with the back of your hand. Now I'm thinking, I might keep that one. Now I'm thinking, let's get some Prussian blue and a little bit of ultramarine blue. I'm just going to start using stronger colours now, because I want to try and just put in a bit of shadow into this water like this. Again, what I do is, because I'm using cardboard, I can just wet my brush now. I just wet my brush in some water like that, and it's basically like a watercolour. Just getting a bit of shadow coming in like that. Maybe a bit more. Just under the water like this. That's nice. I like that. Let's just get a little bit under here. A little bit darker there, I think. Let's get a little bit darker. There we are. Let's put a little bit of colour there. Now we can get some white paint. White paint, a bit ultramarine blue, I think. Oh, a bit more white paint. Just bring in a bit of, maybe a little bit of a sparkle of lightness to the water area. And we'll come back to that in a second. Now I want to get some green. Get some green and some white. Now if you don't want to lighten your green up with white, I'm not going to change my palette. Just use yellow. Actually, I think I will add a bit of yellow to my palette. Let me just get some, because it's only by there, and I just have a little dot was the word I was looking for. Dot. Dee 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 dee. It's a little bit more green with the yellow, so you can see the difference. Can you see the difference? I can see the difference. And it's good if I can see the difference, then it works. Because if you followed me before, you know I got a problem with greens. So I'm getting better, I think. Bringing some green down there like this. You know, I'm not even worrying about that area. I'm not going to worry about that there. I'm not even going to worry about that because I just want to make this a bit darker. If I get some black to that, make a very dark green. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know if you can see the difference, but I can see the difference. You should see the difference. A bit of green coming down. Reflection in the water. Let's get some burnt umber. I want to put some texture in here like this. Just tapping the brush in. Tapping the brush in like this. Maybe get a bit of black. A bit of black. Let's put some dark rocks in. Just like that. There we go. There's a few of them. Get some green. Get some green. Where's my green gone? Where did I put my green? There is my green. Bit of yellow. Yellow doesn't go wrong in many cases in my eyes. I can tell the difference between yellow and green, so I'll try and put some of that in there. Considering I wasn't going to paint that bit, I'm alright. Get a bit of this grey colour now. Just put some highlights on this rock. Just like that. Maybe a bit of highlight there. Bit of highlight there. There we go. There we are. That's looking nice. That's looking nice. Bring a bit of that down there. Where's this little brush I put aside? Because what I want to do is check my cameras are working. Hello camera. Is my cameras working? Ah, my camera is working. I think they are. Okay, let's just put a little bit of a white line. Just across. Bit of a watermark. Under that water there, like that. A little bit of line work there. Just a little bit like it's just catching a little bit of light. We can do the same with darker blue if you wanted to, just to put some maybe little shadow marks in the water. That's like this. You get the idea. You get the idea. So what we need to do now is get my scrippy liner brush, which is this one. That's right. I want to put some burnt umber and green together like this. Nice dark colour. Making sure I got a really sharp point on this brush. And what I'm going to do is just put a few twiggly bits, just like that. Maybe a bit brown. Maybe we'll put a tree. Something like that. Maybe he's just been blown away and, you know, leaves, branches and stuff like that. There we go. Let's get a bit of that light colour. Let's get a bit of highlight just on there like that. Okay, let's get some of this nice lighter type of green. I hope it is lighter. Maybe you want to go lighter than that. I maybe just do some yellow and I want to try and brighten this up a bit. It's not doing it for me. I can't see the difference. Okay. Now maybe you're looking a little bit weird because it's quite bright. I think that's bright. Just get some things just like that. Let's get a bit of burnt umber and let's go for it, shall we? Let's get some. That looks green to me. That's burnt umber. I'll do burnt umber and black. Burnt umber and black. Come on, I want it nice and dark. There we go. I want to put a big old trunk of a tree come in down there like that. There he goes. And he's going way up there. Way up there like that. But he's also gonna spur off just like that. Ooh, he's a big one. Oh, he's a big one. He's a big boy, he is. He is definitely a big boy, this one. Let's get some of this light grey. Just like this. What type of tree is this? I don't know. You make your mind up. This could be your tree, whatever you want your tree to be. Make it that way. Just make it that way, yes. It could be a silver birch tree. It could be an oak tree. It could be whatever you want it to be. It's just a tree for me. A little bit of black now. Because I just want to... I need to make sure I clean my brushes. Because I'm quite a dirty painter, see. I just want to put a bit of shadow down that edge there like that. Just to give it a little bit of a three-dimensional look. A little bit of shadow in there as well. There we go. Back to this. My cameras are working. They hope they are. Back in this brown. Putting it to a nice sharp point. And just get a few branches come in. Off like this. Not many. Just a few. There you go. Bit of a twiggly one there. Maybe it's another one. Just like that. There you go. Oops, it was a bit thick, that one. Maybe he's just snapped off. It's snapped off there. Maybe. Just a few like that. That's an old, raggedy old type of tree, that one. Let's just put a bit of highlight on this tree again. No, let's just get just a few little lines. Let's get a bit of white over there. Come on, white. My paint's gone a bit thick. It's quite cool in the studio today. That's a bit too light. Oh dear me, look what I've done. Let's just blend it in like that. There we go. Let's get some more of this greenery coming in. It's in front of there. Again, this is always handy to just, as we do so many times when I'm doing things like this, just a couple of little dots of paint. Maybe it's just some daisies or something there, and maybe we got some bluebells or something in front as well. There we are. Snowdrops, daisies, you tell me. I don't know. Just adds a little bit of colour, doesn't it? It does. I think so anyway. I think so. There we are. Is that okay? I think what's missing now, maybe just using this brush. I want to get as much paint off this brush as I can. Just very, there's very hardly any paint on this. Just dirty. It's just the brush is just dirty. I just want to put a shadow in. Just like that. Maybe of that branch just in like that, in the water like that. Getting a bit of this white. Just over the top of that then. What that does, it gives you the illusion of that is underneath that. Bit of water line there. Strengthen up the water line there. Put a few reeds in. Put a few reeds in there like that. There you go. Have fun. Now you could put a little bit more highlight on the tree and stuff like that. I'm happy with that. It's just an effect I wanted to show you, and by putting a big tree like that in front, it's pushing everything back and bringing that as a focal point, giving you depth, giving you that three-dimensional look, and that's what I basically was going for today. So have fun. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.